So, Paul and I last weekend finished sorting the yellow modified plates. And I want to provise this by saying that we sorted the yellow modified plates that I sorted previously before I got here, because I was going to do it at some point with the yellow brickhead. So only the parts that were at the very bottom, which is 1x plates and some small 2x plates. And so we sorted that, and then I got the rest of the bin out. As you can see, modified plates, empty. I'm just constantly Mr. Entertainer here. Anywho, so unlike my blue, I'll bring those out, which I decided to go across three containers like this, and then one big container for the larger modified plates. I went with only two because yellow had a lot less yellow modified yellow plates than blue did. So I went across two small ones and one big one here. Now I could potentially go get two more of these and fit this in here, but I'll show you what I did. So, and the oddness of my collection. So again, people will say, oh, you got some bright burnt orange. No, what's it called? Bright orange, whatever it's called, the new one. And I have a tough time telling them from regular yellow. But look, I don't know if there's anything there. All nice and sorted out. And where is it? I had a baggie. I just had, oh my goodness, I wanted to show this off because this is where all those tangents that I like come in. Oh, there it is. Bring this up here. So the first bin, one by ones and then 1x2s, basically. It's a little bit of 2x2s here, these guys. So, I mean, it wasn't as organized as my blue, where I started 1x1 on this side and this worked larger as it went along. It's kind of an ad hoc thing. I might change it in the future, but right now it's good enough for Canada, as my Opa used to say. So this is kind of neat. And yeah, I'm amazed on one side about how many of each individual, some of these modified plates I have. And I'm also amazed about how few of some other modified plates that I have. So let's start with the mini right off the bat. 1x2 jumper plates. Filled up this entire row. Filled up the entire row. And a baggie on top of that wouldn't fit in there. Like, I am trying to rack my mind to figure out how I possibly have this many 1x2 jumper plates in yellow. Like, I must have bricklinked them. I must have, because there's no way I bought the number of sets that would warrant this many 1x2 jumper plates in yellow. I mean, I don't know what sets they came in, and I'm sure they came in a few, but to warrant that many, it's like it's an obscene amount of jumper plates in yellow. Because I don't build in yellow, but I'm trying to figure out if I had an idea way in the past, and I ordered them. Because again, I ordered these. I ordered a whole bag of these, 1x2 with two hookies, two clippies. I ordered a whole bunch because they were the cheapest at the time, because I was going to go with the 1x1 with clippies, vertical clippies, and those were more expensive than the 1x2s at the time. So I ordered 1x2s because I'm Dutch and I'm cheap, and so about 1x2 jumper plates. So those is overflow and these are overflow, because again, I put the 1x2 with clippies here in this row, so I have enough to warrant the rest of my life, I believe. And so I'm going to be selling those, and I'm going to be selling those at some garage sale at some point in the future. So I'll put that away over here. And then we get into the next bin, which gets into some of the 2x2s. And again, some of it's full. I'm amazed actually how many ladders I had. It's kind of neat because I like ladders, because it brings me back to classic space. And I know that the ladders came in a whole bunch of other sets, so I'm not surprised by how many ladders I have. But what did surprise me, as out of my entire collection, one No, again, I rebuilt some classic space sets, and again, I did not look up what this one yellow piece came in. One, like they call it 1x4 with offset studs, whatever. Uh, sure, I'll go with that. But I have one here that's not built in anything. One, I'm like, in gray and blue, this is ubiquitous. And black, this is such a ubiquitous piece in my collection. And yet in yellow, I am trying to think. Black Tron 1, I don't know. But anyway, I have one of those. And it's actually a little beat up, but I kept it because this is the one I have. That's not built in anything. Other than that, everything else here is pretty status quo. I just realized something. Here's what happens when I do. I have these guys here, and I have these guys here. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to. I have them in two different spots right now, in two different things. So I will get on that at some point in the near future, and I will reorganize and blah blah blah. But for now, it'll stay that way. I'm also impressed how many of these I have. Again, none of this is Bricklink orders. This is just years of collecting. We are going to talk about Bricklink orders in a second when I get into this bin, which is this. And I can guarantee all these chairs, that must have been, not all of them, but I would have probably ordered a bunch in a Bricklink order. But what I would not have ordered in any Bricklink order in the history of mankind are the wheel wells. And it goes all the way across. Just standard wheel wells. Standard from the 80s. And of course, both types. It's funny, I can't find one right now. Both types, with studs and without studs. I put them all in the same spot because I don't care. I would not have ordered those on Bricklink, and yet I have. Let's see up. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll go get some cleaning boxes like Jeff. And what's left on the table are these guys. Again, they're too big to go in those things, and all of these things that are too big to go in those things, and these guys. That they're modified plates, but whatever. These dumpers, again, these guys, 3 of those. I think they're Fabulant. And then these guys, also I think Fabulant. Maybe. So I got 3 of those. I got this. And a boat, which shouldn't have been in there. And then I have my my 70s modified plates, which I am now going to move into my early Lego, because I am sorting out stuff out so I know where it is when I want to reconstitute early 70s and late 60s sets. And so all this stuff is going to go into a different bin. I'm not sure which bin it's going to go into, because I think I started a bin with the blue, with the blue modified plates that are too big for these things, and I'm just going to dump these in here. So I guess I'm going to have mixed colors. Yes, I'm going to have mixed colors, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. It is what it is, as they say. But I'm going to say I did have fun with Paul sorting that stuff to start with, and now it's fully sorted, and this is going to be, oh, and I got these big plates here that I think came in a bulldozer set or something way back in the day, and this labeled one. And I found, again, lots of stuff that shouldn't have been here. This is where I put my modified bricks. That's where that one should be. This one also should be a modified bricks, but it was in with the modified plates because this is over a brick tall, so it goes into modified bricks, not the modified plates. These guys go in tiles because the stud's in the middle, so it's not really on top of where the rest of the studs. So this is a tile with a stud in the middle. This is a tile with a friction pin or a frictionless pin. And this goes in the, even though it is a modified plate, this goes into my round bin because this is what I started sorting with when I was a kid. I kept the round pieces separate, and so this should be in the round bin. These go in the wing bin. I have a wing bin specifically solely for the wing bin. These go in the hinged multi-part bin because, again, it takes propeller on it. And this goes, again, in the wings and tails bin. This goes into my tires bin, my tire holder bin. So that's that one too. So that's everything, which is fantastic. This worked out very well. And of course, this also goes into the round antenna, goes into the round bin. So I am more than happy that all this got done. I'm happy that my yellow's done. I'm happy that I emptied yet another container and I've freed up some shelf space, even though this is going to go on the shelf, but it's less space than that thing. I'm happy that I have some overflow, so that means I'm downsizing. And I am reasonably happy that I had a story to tell because, again, you don't know what you have until you really get into it in this collection. And I am a little bit surprised, again, by the wheel wells, the wheel bricks, the wheel plates, the wheel fender plates. Call it the right thing, whatever they call them. The 2x4 wheel fenders. I am surprised how many of those I did have, because I wouldn't have expected that. If somebody bet me good money, oh Dave, you'd probably just be able to fill up a half a row of one of these, and I fill up an entire row in the big guy, and it's overflowing. I'm going, really? Where did I get any of those? I mean, I had town sets. I know I got a ton of town sets back in the day, but there weren't that many. I'm just surprised. I'm honestly gonna be surprised. But anyway, that's an update. I had an hour plus long rant the other night, and I just deleted it. I didn't even bother uploading it. I am not going to upload most of that stuff. I uploaded one, and a few people took interest in it, so I sent them the link. I'm probably not going to leave it up there. It's just wasting bandwidth, megapixels on my YouTube channel. I will surmise it by saying I'm going to be as quick and as unprovoking as possible. I am pretty close to retirement. I'm also white, male, hetero, nuclear family, full-time job kind of guy. like there ain't no other way of putting it. And so all these societal upheavals and people who are rallying against them and rallying against the governments and rallying against whatever's are going on out there in the world right now will directly not impact me. They're not going to impact me hardly much at all. Taxes, like, oh, it's tax attacks. Whoever says that's just bloviating for no real reason, no cogent reason. And any other things. Oh, pronouns. Oh, we shouldn't do them. It's not going to affect me because my pronouns are pretty self-explanatory. He, him, right? But again, I support 100% the LGBTQ community, and I will use the pronouns that they want me to use. If somebody says use they them, oh, you're going to use them. I'm not here to tell anybody else who they are. Just like nobody's going to tell me who I am. And so my whole point there was, I have to stop getting my back up. I have to stop arguing online with people that just don't seem to care about truth, matters, facts, whatever. And the society that we live in, they just seem to care about their own little ensconced world, their own little pet peeves, and not having an overall understanding or appreciation, shall we say, of the big issues that are facing a lot of people in our society. And here I am at almost retirement as a white Anglo-Saxon, if you want to say that, hetero guy, fighting for the rights and freedom and security for those who are not able to speak for themselves or have a lesser voice. And I'm fighting for them. I'm not fighting for me. I will go through life. I know my privilege. I'm very well aware. I see it literally all the time now. I never saw it when I was a kid. I didn't see it in my 20s, but I see it literally all the time now with what's happening to people who are not white, Anglo-Saxon, hetero, male. And that includes just women. Women have less, you would think in the 21st century we'd have all this stuff figured out and fixed. Women have less of a voice in context than men do. And yet, we keep on saying, oh, we've come so far. Yes, we have come far. We have come far farther than, 1950s and 1960s and 1970s. We have come a long way. But people say, oh, we put all that stuff behind us. You know who's saying that? White, hetero. men who are not gay or you know, whatever, that kind of with the hetero. Those are the people who have the privilege are saying they feel like their rights are being taken away from them when other people get the same rights that I have and the same abilities that I have and the same access that I have and the same everything that I have. And I can see that. And it's amazing to me, if I can see that, why isn't everybody else in society able to see that? And it's infuriating to me, and this is what I went on for a rant for over an hour and got really political and stuff, so I just deleted it. But it's infuriating to me that there are those in our society that are treated less than us. They're treated as second-class citizens. And people, oh, no, they're not. They are. They have to worry. They have to be concerned about their safety, their security, their personal well-being, their mental well-being, because they are treated less than the rest of us. The rest of us being the white hetero people, men especially. And so I do not mind at all the topsy-turviness of people demanding their rights that are the same as mine. I don't feel like my rights have been diminished at all during this whole process. I still have the freedom to walk wherever I want and do whatever I want. We live in a very free country. I think overall, statistically, what the stats always tell us, I live in one of the best countries on the planet. Statistically, every year, hey, the number one country in the world to visit, to vacation, to live in, Canada is it's either one or in the top 3. And here I am, as not only in the top country in the world, in the top 5 usually, again, always, but as the person that's in the top percentile of literally everything. So it's like I know my privilege, and I do not want other people to feel unprivileged. I want everybody to feel like they're part of society, like they're an equal part of society. And equality doesn't mean that everybody gets the same thing. This isn't communism, that everybody gets to share it, but we have to make the starting point the same. So those who want to go farther and do more, and they shouldn't have to worry, like I never had to worry, because of the color of the skin, or their sexual orientation, or who their parents were, their grandparents were, their great-parents. If they were in a different country last week and they're in this country now, they shouldn't have to worry about that they're going to walk around the corner and get the crap beat out of them. Or they're going to get hit by a truck in London. I think it was London. Like, it's people who think that there is no privilege for the white male, or just white people in general, but the white male in society. There's a family grieving. Actually, there's no family left. 4 of them are dead from last year. 4 of them are dead because they got run over by a pickup truck because they are not us. Well, who's us? Who is us? My us includes everybody. That's my us. That's my Venn diagram of who's us. Planet. People on the planet. That's us. And the second people start thinking about it that way, it doesn't matter color or orientation or sex or gender or whatever. Who gives a flying fig? They're a person. We are all people. All of us were people. And therefore should be entitled to the same rights and freedoms that some of us have just taken for granted all these years. And that was an hour plus rant. Anyway, so I'm not going to go on past that. I think I got my point out a lot clearer than an hour and a half rant. And so this space is a safe space, if you want to call it that. I don't know, labels or whatever. But I have appreciation and support. I have family and I have friends that are part of other communities other than the white hetero nuclear family. I have friends that are on all spectrums and all walks of life. I have friends and family, and I love them and I support them, and I see them. I want them to know that they're seeing, and I will just keep on pushing for them. And as I say, I'm not doing it for accolades. I'm not doing it for the betterment of me, because my life's perfect, quote unquote perfect. But it is for them to know that they are seen and that they do have, I want them to have exactly the same rights and freedoms and, privilege that I've had. And they don't have it still now. I can't believe that we're still fighting over this. We're fighting over the scraps. Oh, this guy, they get that person has more ice cream than I do. What, we're in kindergarten now? Like, feminism, I've been a feminist since I was born. Well, that's since my earliest thoughts. I never, and I don't know if it's just me. And I'd like to keep on going on this because I didn't talk about this in that rant. I don't know if it was just me, but when I was growing up, and I will be the first to say that if you talk to some of my friends growing up, there's a lot of whatever. I had a different outlook, shall we say. I had a different way of thinking like everybody else. But I never, ever, ever got the idea that a woman or a girl is less than me. I never thought I'm superior to women. I've never felt that. And most of my friends are the same way. Women are not inferior to men. And again, that's that's 4,000 years of written history that women have been less than men. But my mom was as influential in my life, and watching her doing whatever she would. Nobody told her, oh, you're a woman, you can't do that. So I didn't grow up in an environment where women couldn't do. And again, but my other issue is that women, when I was growing up, this is like a personal thing, women couldn't be firefighters when I was a kid. That's changed in my lifetime. Women are now able to be firefighters. And again, if my house is on fire, I don't care who's pulling me out of a building. I don't care if it's a woman, a guy, gay, bisexual, trans, pans, whatever. I don't care who's coming to rescue me in the fire. I just want to be rescued. so it matters not to me as long as they're qualified. And again, that's the other thing, that has to be qualified. But I don't care who it is. And I will love them for rescuing me and my family and whatever. And so I grew up in a family that was pretty equal rights across the board, as far as I'm concerned. But again, the 70s is a lot different than 2020s, right? And yet in the 70s, I believed in this as well. And I didn't label myself as a feminist. I didn't know what a feminist was when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. But I never ever treated women inferior to men. Like you have to obey me, or that men are going to be, you can't do a man's job. I have been working all my adult life, and I have seen all types of people in management positions, and I have there's nothing in my calculus, shall we say, when it comes to bosses and management. There's no equation, there's no variable in my equation to that is it male or female. That's nothing in my equation of my appreciation of managers and bosses over the years. I've had female bosses, and I've had male bosses. I've had fantastic female bosses, and I've had some fantastic male bosses. And I have some type A, I won't use the word, female bosses. Some really, the people I dislike the most deserve to be disliked because of their interactions with me. Nothing to do with their stature, nothing to do with their sex or gender or where they came from in the world, what their accent is, what their parents' history is, what country they came from. I couldn't give a flying patootie about any of that, because that does not factor. The person is the person, not anything else about that. How they interact with me. If there's respect, they get respect. If there's no respect, then I don't care what walk of life you came from. It doesn't matter to me. That's irrelevant. And the more important thing is, I'm not going to attribute their malfeasance, a person's malfeasance, a personal malfeasance of that person. That's the way of putting it. If they're bad and a bad boss or whatever, or a criminal or whatever, I'm not going to attribute their actions, that individual person's actions, on the rest of the people. Because again, us, the whole planet. And us contains criminals. Us contains good people. Us contains doctors. Us contains vagrants and vagabonds, and all. Us contains all manners of walks of life. And so, in the end, every individual person has to atone for their own sins, if you want to call it that. That's kind of a biblical way of saying it. But I will not attribute those onto their parents. And I'm going to make a practical point here. For the first few years with the neighbors, we knew the parents of the daughter, of the wife next door. We knew the parents. And the parents, at least the mom did, her mom, agreed with us that her daughter was going off the rails. Now, after a sense, her mom took her daughter's side, and that's, again, that's what she did. Her actions made me think of her differently. At the beginning, she was trying to get her daughter to see reason. And after a fashion, she just piled right on. And so I did not attribute her daughter's actions onto her mom. Her mom stood or fell on her own under her actions, her mom's actions. At the beginning, for us, were perfectly cogent and sound, and we tried. After fashion, when she just completely jumped on the wagon of ultimate harassment, those are her actions, and that's when we stop talking and blah, blah, blah. So it's the person's actions, how they interface, how they react, how they act, how they work in society. Is that person's actions? How can you go, parenting, like that's a whole other topic. But if you have an adult person that's doing negative stuff, malfeasant stuff, ne'er-do-well stuff, how would you then say to an adult, your parents are the same way, or your uncle's the same way, or your great-grandparents are the same way, or whatever? You don't know. You never liaised with them. You don't know. And you could say, and again, I'm not, what's that word I'm looking for? I'm not, the word just puffed out of my head. I am not guilty of doing this kind of stuff, because again, to bring another practical data point from my life, our niece, a bunch of years back, got married, and she wanted a destination wedding, and she chose Jamaica. And she wanted to go to Jamaica for a wedding. And I dreaded going to Jamaica. I dreaded going to Jamaica. I didn't want to go. Because of my entire life, I heard about how bad Jamaicans are. Jamaicans, oh, they're bad. And so I'm guilty as anybody of attributing rumors of war to people who I've never met. I'm as guilty as anybody. You can make inferences, but we went, and I had literally the best vacation I've ever had. It was a destination. It was all inclusive. Never been on one before. 8 days of the best vacation, that kind of type of vacation I've ever had. Now, again, I love camping and canoeing, and I won't regale you my time up in Algonquin Park canoeing for a week by myself. That was a fantastic vacation. But this is like an actual vacation to a resort, and it was the best one I've ever had. Jamaica. I could not get over how great the people were, how great the service was, how great the food was, how great the environment was. I get the top to bottom, my favorite vacation. And so again, I slapped my hand for attributing all the negative that I heard my entire life about Jamaica, and dreading going there, and then being there, and like my eyes are open. That was mighty stereotypical of me to attribute that kind of fear-mongering, shall we say, to an entire population. Now, again, there are bad people everywhere. But there's bad people everywhere. There's bad white hetero males that are close to retirement. I've met them. so again, I would be most displeased, and again, to start up to the person, to be lumped into a category of ne'er-do-wells or malcontents because of the actions of some other almost 60-year-old white guy who's like doing bad stuff, right? That's privilege, because it hardly ever happens, even though you're looking at the most privileged person on the planet right now in court, where he should have been years ago, defending his actions and falling asleep. Sleepy Joe, what's this guy going on about? No, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start. That's it. That's all. I had a good time sorting out my yellow. I thank Paul for coming over there and doing that with me. And my rant is now over. And it's a lot shorter than my last one. Everybody out there, stay safe. Take care. I did have fun with this, and I'm glad I did it. Yellow's done. Blue's done, yellow's done, gray's done. I might do red at some point. Black is going to be, because my modified plates across, black go across 8 of these bins. That's a lot, and I'm going to probably reduce it down to here. Not just, probably more than this, but I'm going to have a lot of overflow for black. And again, I never bought any from Bricklink, so that's all from, sets and lots that I bought over the years. So, but anyway, that's it. You guys all stay safe, take care. I'll talk to you soon.